All right. Good morning, class. Today we're going to be going over learning target number 10. We've already talked about scatter plots, but now we're going to talk about trend lines and lines of best fit. So when a scatter plot demonstrates a linear relationship, a straight, let me zoom in. Line can be used to show, let me zoom out, what's happening? A general pattern of the data. So it's not going to be exact because it's a scatter plot, but it's a general pattern. A trend line or line of best fit is a straight line that should lie as close as possible to the points of data on the scatter plot. Okay, so for questions 1 through 4, you're going to write yes or no to describe whether or not the line is a good trend line and then explain why you think so. So I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and pause the video and answer yes or no on 1 through 4. All right, let's talk about the first one. Do you think this was a good line of best fit? Does it go through the general data pattern? No, absolutely not. Why not? The scatter plot is what type of a correlation? It's positive. And the trend line is what? Good. So that is not a good trend line. All right, number 2. Is this a good trend line? Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. The trend line is close to the data points. That's it. All right, let's look at number 3. Is this a good trend line? Nah. This trend line is what? Yeah, it's above most or all of the data points. Like number 2 went right through the middle. This one's way above. It doesn't go through the data at all. All right, number 4. That's a good trend line? Nah. This trend line is below the data. All right. Good work. Okay, now when we're writing an equation, and we've done this before, we're just relating it now to scatter plots, we're going to choose how many points? That's right, 2 points on the trend line and set the ratio as rise over run. To find why do we do rise over run? What are we finding? Good, the slope of the line, or M. Then we look at the y-axis to find the what? Good. The y-intercept of the line, or also known as the, what letter? the b. Then we're going to write the equation, just like we've done in the past. Y equals mx plus b. Perfect. That should not be new. Okay, let's look down here. Go ahead and write the equation of the scatter plot in slope-intercept form. Actually, you're going to work on this page and alrighty here. So on this first one, let's find 2 points. So this is a good point given here. And I'm going to go with this one. Or you can do this one. Okay, let's count the rise and the run. So our m, let's write it down here, is 1 over -3. And we need our b. So where does it cross the y-axis? Good, right there. Okay, so y equals -1/3 plus 8. Remember, the negative can go with the 1 or the 3 or in the middle. Doesn't matter. Okay? Now, on this next one, be careful because this one is counting not by 50s, but by 25s. Okay, so be careful when you're counting there. Okay, let's pick 2 points. Let's see, I like this one and this one. Okay, the rise, how much did we rise up? Not by 1. 25, because each of these go by 25. How much did we run? By 2, okay? And be careful because on a test, they could change this to 12.5. So they just divided 2 into 25. So understand it can be either or, okay? And what's our y-intercept? Good, let's write the equation. And if you didn't understand how I got to 12.25, pause the video and raise your hand. I'll come explain it to you. All right? Seven. Again, find 2 points. There's one here. There's one there. Again, understand that the y-axis is not counting by 1s. So what's your rise? What is it counting by? Not by 10s, by 5s. So 5, 10, so rose 10 and ran over 1. What kind of a 1? Good, negative. And you can also just write -10 like that, okay? And what's our B? Good, be careful there. It's plus 45. All right, if you got all those right, you have a great memory of what we did before, because again, this isn't anything new. All right, go on to the next page and continue working. The back on your own. All right, you can go ahead and pause the video, work on your own, and then I'll check back in with you. Then you can play the video again and then see how you did. So here you're going to find the slope of the trend line. They give you the 2 points. The first part says, explain whether the points she chose will help her write the correct equation of the line. So let's see, 180. 180 is where? Right here. And 230, remember this is X, this is Y, this is X, this is Y, this is X. Okay, 230 is here. Okay, are those 2 points good for writing the correct equation of the line? Are those points on the line? Yeah, no, and explain why. So now go ahead and find the correct equation. So now pick 2 points that are on the line and then go from there. I would pick this one and this one. Always try to pick 2 that are close together so you don't have to simplify as much. Go ahead and count your rise, your run. Make sure you know if it's positive or negative. All right, so for this one, you should have gotten y equals negative 20x plus 90. Good job, guys. Okay, number 9. Which of the following scatter plots could have a trend line with an equation of y equals 2x plus 5? So it's not going to be exact, but you're looking at each of these and you are paying attention to 2 things. What do you think those 2 things are? Yes, this and this. The 2 represents the what? M, which is slope, good. And the 5 represents what? Y-intercept. All right, so which of these 4 graphs do you think could be best represented by a positive 2 and a positive 5? Or which ones can we eliminate? Which ones could we eliminate? Which ones don't have a positive 2 slope? Which ones don't have a positive trend? Yeah, so let's go ahead and label a couple right now. So this one's positive. This one's negative. This one's negative, and this one's positive. Oops, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Oh, goodness. They're all reversed. This one's negative. This one's positive. This one's positive. And this one's negative. It's all right, teachers mess up too, right? So it can't be A and it can't be D. Alrighty, so from these 2 positive slopes, we need to see which one is closest to a positive 5 y-intercept. Which one's closest to a positive 5 y-intercept? So if we were to draw a line through B, that's sort of our line of best fit. Does that go to a positive 5 y-intercept? And if we draw our line through here, does that go through a positive 5 y-intercept? Explain your choice. All right? The last one for today has a couple of parts. Ms. Hamilton surveyed some of her students by asking how many minutes they spent studying for their math test and the score they made on the math test. The results are shown below. So what is the slope of the trend line? So we just did that, find 2 points. What does the slope mean? in context of the situation. So now you're going to say for every something, and you're going to use these keywords here, minutes studied is going to affect their test score. All right, so I want to see that for letter B. Explain it in the context. C, what is the y-intercept? And then again, D, what does the y-intercept mean in context of the situation? So again, you have to talk about minutes studied and their test scored. And then finally, write the equation. So A, C, and E are things we've done, but B and D are now using the information we have in the context of this situation. All right, good luck. Raise your hand if you have any questions.